Welcome to the programme. Myanmar has seen its worst day of violence since its military seized power nearly 2 months ago. Local media are reporting as many as 50 people have been shot dead in the latest crackdown against anti-coup protesters. Now, that's on top of the 320 deaths that rights groups have confirmed since the start of the military coup. Although the true number is likely to be much higher, the violence coincides with a military parade in the capital, where the leader of the ruling junta pledged to safeguard democracy. Let's get the very latest from Tony CHENG, who's in Bangkok in neighbouring Thailand, just monitoring events for us from there. Tony, during the last few hours, we've been getting an ongoing, increasing death toll as that crackdown continues by the military.
Indeed, and it's rising quickly. We've been, it's very hard to get a really accurate impression. We were trying to do that earlier in the day, trying to double check and confirm these reports we were getting of fatalities. But as the day has gone on, the numbers have just been increasing faster and faster. It is, of course, very difficult to access information, in addition to which the internet is still blocked in many areas. But we do know the protesters went out very early this morning in Yangon. They've been out since 4:30 in the morning. Sorry, 2:30 in the morning. Then the security services moved in at 4 o'clock. We understand that 4 people were killed in clashes there in Dana and Yangon. In Lashio, in Shan State, several people were killed again when the protesters went out onto the streets. They were met, as they have been day after day, by volleys of tear gas, rubber bullets and live rounds. And in Yangon, in Mandalay, Myanmar's second city, the city is basically wreathed in smoke as the security services went in, first setting alight barricades the protesters have put in place around their neighbourhoods to try and stop the security services getting in. And since then, we've seen lots of people both injured and dead. It follows a chilling warning that went out last night on Myanmar's state TV that people should not throw their lives away. The warning said that, but if they did come out in the streets today, they would be shot in the head or the back. And that's what we're seeing. A lot of these injuries and fatalities appear to be gunshot wounds to the head. We've also seen on social media lots of images of snipers in high emplacements all over the country.
And of course, this news all comes on the day that the Armed Forces parade actually happened as well. A show of might and subliminal messages about who we are as a military and what we can do.
Absolutely. In fact, frankly, not that subliminal. We were expecting this to be a big day from the military. I think the protesters were also expecting it. They came out very early in the morning before the sun had risen in Naypyidaw, the capital. And on this huge parade ground, we saw armed vehicles, missile launchers, tanks. And then as the sun rose, thousands and thousands of soldiers representing all of the armed forces. But of course, while this is a day that celebrates Myanmar's military sort of glories of the past, the biggest battle today concerning the military is the battle against its own people on the streets of towns and cities all across the country. We saw the junta's leader, General Min Aung Hlaing, come out. He said that the military was put in this position, trying to paint the military as the guardian of democracy, saying that they'd been put in this position and they'd carried out the coup illegally because of unlawful acts by the NLD, the party led by Aung San Suu Kyi. But of course, he presented no arguments, as he hasn't done since the coup. And again, I think we can see from the reaction of the protesters out on the streets who are risking their lives to oppose this coup that no one really believes that.
Tony CHENG in Bangkok for us. Thanks very much.